Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to review some of our endings that we've been learning about, and then we'll take our practice spelling test after we read a passage with some of these endings in it. So we're going to start by reviewing this suffix that we've learned about already. This is the suffix ed. Remember that ed can make three different sounds. In this word, we have the suffix ed at the end, and the base word is rent. Remember, whenever a base word ends in a T or a D, do you know what the suffix ed sound will be? It's ed, rented, okay? And the reason this is ed is because it has a T at the end of the base word. Now, the other two sounds that ed can say is t, like washed, kicked, and laughed. And it can also say d, smiled, mailed, smelled, okay? And remember, the most tricky, whenever it ends with a D, the base word ends with a D or a T, like an add, erupt, or paint, we have that ed sound. And sometimes we say id, added, erupted, painted, okay? All right, so let's take a look at this chunk. This is ing chunk, and ing says ing. Whenever you see this, you know that you say ing, okay? You don't need to say g, you just say ing. It's a chunk. The base word in this word is send, and here we have ing. How many vowels do you see? Well, I see an E, and then in this chunk ing, if you can just take a look at that vowel, we see an I. Even though this is a chunk, we're still just looking at that I. So I see two vowels and they're apart, so I know that they're going to be two syllables, okay? So remember that when you add ing onto a word, you are going to add that extra syllable, okay? So now we're going to be talking about the other three endings we've been learning about. We've been learning about the ending ER, okay? So remember, we first look at the base word, and then we look at the ending. So if I whale talk, and this is going to sound really silly, but you guys know how to whale talk, we just push air. Ready? So two pushes of air. Help is one push, and is the other push. Or we can do syllable stomp. Helper. Two syllables in the word helper, okay? Help, and then the ending is Two vowels, two syllables. Let's take a look at this word. This is the word with that ed or that er ending, and here is the base word, okay? So I have two vowels, two syllables. Take a look at this word. The word is cats. The base word in cats is cat, and then I have an ending s. When we add the ending s to a word, it just tells us that there's more than one. Okay, and this is the word digs. It can also tell us that I'm doing something, okay? This word, it doesn't tell us that there's more than one of something. It just changes the verb dig slightly, okay? And this S sounds like a Z, digs. So sometimes that S at the end can say Z, all right? Sometimes we have to add ES to the end of words, and we have to do that whenever the base word ends in an X. We always add an ES. So here's our base word, box, and here we have ES. We say es, boxes, okay? So whenever we add that ES, we make sure that we say es. And it also adds a syllable on because we have this letter O, that vowel, and then we have this vowel here. So there's two syllables. Let's take a look at this word. Oh, let me go back here. Okay, so here's the base word, buzz, and then I have an ES. In buzzes, you only say the Z sound once, okay? We don't say buzz is, we say buzz is, buzzes, okay? Because that special ES ending does not tell us that there's more than one of something, it just changes the verb buzz a little bit, okay? So remember, when we see the special ending ES, we'll say the sound es. Okay, great job, boys and girls. So now we're going to take a look at a passage. And this passage is called Ruby's Dream. So we're going to be looking at some of these endings here, okay? Here we have our inflectional endings, ER, ED, S, ES, and ING. So I'm going to use my highlighter here, and I'm just going to scan this passage, and I'm going to see if I can find any endings. Do you see any of those endings? Here I have the chunk ing. There's cats, more than one cat. I see an ED here, flicked. I see another ED, rested. Okay, I see another ED here, wanted. Now that ends with a T, so I know that that'll say ed. I see an ING in the word chasing. I see an ED in the word asked. So it's sometimes good to go ahead and just skim the passage before you're reading. That way, whenever you get to that word, your fluency will be a little bit more fluent because you have already came across some of those words, okay? Are you skimming with me? I missed a couple up here at the top. All right, so there's a lot of endings in your passage this week, so I want you to make sure that you're not forgetting to read those endings. And then whenever you're finished reading Ruby's Dreams, I want you to go ahead and take that practice spelling test, and don't forget to type your name whenever you get to that part. And good luck, boys and girls. So go ahead now and click on Ruby's Dreams, and then you'll take the practice spelling test. Best of luck to you. Have a great weekend.